The defense brings a very compelling argument, and the verdict is in. Cowboy Nation, what is happening? Live and in living color, we bring to you the Noise of the Boys podcast, Dallas Cowboys homer exclusive from our studio at HQ1. I'm your co-host, color commentator, Matt Longoria, and with me as always, my right-hand dude sitting to my left, Uncle C. Tom.
What's up, everybody? Matt and I are just two true blue, over-the-top, die-hard fanatics that come together to help you celebrate those wins, but still find those silver and blue linings in the losses. We are here to make some noise about the boys. How we feeling today, Matt Long?
Tomorrow's Friday, Uncle C time, so I'm feeling fine. And guys, on a serious note, the only thing that can make me happier is if you'll smash that thumbs up button, comment below your initial reactions, share this with a fellow Dallas Cowboys fan, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it, Cowboys Nation. It's no secret that Arizona whooped our ass last year, but in case you missed it, October 19, 2020, Arizona traveled to Dallas just 1 week removed from a devastating season-ending Dak Prescott injury. Arizona showed absolutely no remorse. They came into our house and handed us our ass. Now, I want Arizona to keep that same energy coming into Dallas this week, all beat up, key guys missing, and let's see if they can do it again.
They ain't doing it again. Let's be real. Cowboys Nation, what do you think?
Comment below. Now, there's going to be a couple of things we need to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the Cardinals have lost 3 straight. The Cowboys, on the other hand, have lost. They've won 4 straight. Now, looking at this from the outside in, a common fan might look at this game and be like, Cowboys might be due for a loss. And the Cardinals, the opposite, right? I mean, this is a noteworthy game because there's a lot of criticism in Dallas. People saying that Dallas don't have any real noteworthy games. All of their games come from a cupcake schedule, and we'll get into that and compare that to the other teams close to us record wise. But in my opinion, I think Dallas stays the course. It really pisses me off, guys. Before you watch the game this at 325 or wherever you are, before you watch the game, go and watch last year's highlights, okay? Because that's what we did just before this. They came in and whooped our ass, knowing that we were so beat up and hurt, and they showed absolutely no remorse, okay? That pissed me off, and the Cowboys should be pissed off as well and look to even the odds here.
How quickly we forget how devastating last season was. Last season, against the Arizona Cardinals, we obviously, like you said, we got our asses handed to us. It was a tough game. Zeke Elliott had a tough game, couple of fumbles.
As you fumble over your words.
Yeah, as I fumble over my words, exactly. And Andy Dalton, just, Jesus, let's just thank the Lord that we have Dak Prescott. If you think that Dak has not played well this season, or if you think that the way that he's played over the last few games is a slump, go watch the highlights of any game that we had last season without Dak. I mean, good God. How have we forgotten what last season was like? I guess that's what a bunch of wins in a span of like 2 or 3 months will do to you, but good Lord, man. Good Lord. We should be very grateful and we should be very excited for the team that we have right now. Watching those highlights from last year, I mean, Jesus, man, there was nobody in the stands, Cowboys Nation. Like, we didn't even want to go to the game. I don't know about y'all. Y'all let us know. I was hurt. My heart was broken whenever Dak was injured, and I had a really hard time tuning into that game.
I remember being in a very depressed state for that week. I mean, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't even recall watching that game. I was pretty beat up and hurt over that. I mean, come on, let's be real. Everybody was. If you look at the highlights and you look at the stadium, It's like a ghost town. It's unreal.
I have never seen a Cowboys game like that. In 2015, when Romo was hurt and Kellen Moore threw for like 400 something on Washington, I was at that game, and I considered that game to have somewhat of an empty in the stands, but by no means was it anywhere close to what Arizona looked like. I mean, it looked like it was a high school game. That's how many fans were there. So.
Truthfully, the people that showed up to that game were just people that believed in the Red Rocket, and it didn't go the way that anybody thought, or that those guys thought.
Or they just bought tickets off of season ticket holders for 50% off.
I mean, listen, guys, that was devastating. But it's time. It's time to get revenge, and nothing more than that. There's a simple recipe to winning this game, and it's bring that same energy from last week and apply it towards a team that deserves the ass beating. Okay. Not that Washington didn't, but Arizona more so than Washington, because for a couple reasons. We have a chip on our shoulder because we have something to prove against a noteworthy team. We have to actually have not only is it a must win because we want to put ourselves in the best position for the 1 seed, but also it's a revenge game, and also it's going to be a noteworthy win because it's a team that's above 500 now.
And also, we should want to win this one even more because Packers fans around the world are going to be cheering for us extra hard for us to lose. Because if we lose, Green Bay clinches the number 1 seed. So let's get this win and let's piss off some Packers fans.
Yes, there's nothing more that brings me joy. But with that said, it's a simple recipe, ladies and gentlemen. But simple does not always mean easy. So it's going to require continuity from our defense. We've seen it week after week for the last several. Okay, we have to come in and we have to contain Kyler Murray. This is going to be the key, in my opinion. Now, how do we get that done, Uncle C. Tom?
So, as we know, with mobile quarterbacks, you want to collapse the pocket, and that is a lot easier said than done, especially for guys like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray that are just so elusive and so quick. I think that the tough thing about this matchup in particular is we got guys like Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory that are so fast and are so hungry to get after the quarterback. You kind of have to ask these guys to almost slow up and don't be dead set on trying to get home, because when you are, that's when Kyler can make you miss. So if you watch the Packers game back where it was Green Bay versus Arizona, you saw that Green Bay did a really nice job of, collapsing in. And the way to do that, you have to have a good amount of pressure up the middle. And I think that we do have the guys to do it. We're going to be getting Tristan Hill back. Hopefully that's the word on the street at least. And we've got, other incredible pass rushers like the ones I just mentioned, Osa Odigizua, Dorrance Armstrong. I mean, our D-line, if there is a team that can collapse the pocket on Kyler Murray, it's going to be the Dallas defense. Now, as far as, the key matchup for this game, it's going to be our D-line versus their O-line. I think that with D-Hop being out, they've got some guys on the COVID list and some guys that are injured. I think that if this defense can find a way, not necessarily to shut Kyler Murray all the way down, but if you can keep him from rushing for a substantial amount of yards, on scramble plays, I think that I think that this defense is going to feast like they have been.
Yeah, you got to contain them. And look, defense wins championships. I've said it week after week. And the Cowboys have proven it. Even when their offense is lackluster, they're just the defense. The defensive production alone has been what's allowed the Cowboys to win those games. Specifically on that 3-game stretch where we played away games. But keeping defense in mind, we thought it'd be really fun to kind of rank our top 5 defensive players. Originally, we were going to do this together, but that's not the case. So, who you got at number 5?
So at number 5, man, this is tough. But I think that I'm gonna have to go with Randy Gregory at number 5. We all know what Randy Gregory has done this year. I think that he might be higher on the list if he wasn't injured. I can't remember why he injured at the beginning of the season. Is that why he missed the first couple of games? Or maybe I don't remember. But regardless, he's missed some games this year. Randy Gregory has come back this season and has been a difference maker. So I got Randy Gregory at my 5 spot.
Okay. At number 5, mine's going to be, I'm a simple guy, guys. Man, a very simple taste. And I look for things that maybe the more experienced Cowboys fan wouldn't look for. So with that being said, my number 5 is going to be Anthony Brown.
So I was actually considering putting him at 5, and Cowboys Nation probably won't like this too much.
Yeah, I mean, in years past, we've had a really, really tough going when it comes to that corner position. Brown obviously has had himself kind of a spotty year, but I think he's had more ups than downs, and he's proven himself worthy of being at that position. And yeah, let's be real. I mean, he's gotten burned, and he's cost us a lot of yards in very close games. But considering how bad we've been at that position, and looking at the rest of the roster, and considering this is a power rankings kind of deal, I just have Brown at number 5.
He has been very, very good this season. Like, I don't understand like what the hate is about it. You know, I don't get it. I mean, this guy he's played about as good as a 2nd/3rd corner can play. And I mean, he's made a few PBUs. He's got a few interceptions. So, I mean, he's stepped up. He's done about as well. Not every player on your team can be a Pro Bowler.
Right.
You need role players, and that's exactly what he is. And I think he's done a really nice job this season.
Now, that's going to push me into number 4. I'll go ahead and take that. I've got Randy Gregory at number 4 for similar reasons you had him at 5. But considering the amount of time that he's missed, but the impact that he has made with him in the starting lineup, my guy is just balling out this year. But I can't put him above my top 3, and we'll get into that. Who you got at 4?
So number 4, I got DeMarcus Lawrence. And the reason for that, I was considering putting somebody else in that spot. But, I mean, just in the short amount of time that DeMarcus Lawrence has been back, he has elevated this defense to a whole nother level. And the only reason, I think if he plays every game this season, he'd probably be in my 1 spot, honestly. And same thing with Randy Gregory. If he played more, maybe had a couple more, huge touchdown plays or something like that, I don't know. Maybe he would be in the 1 or 2. But DeMarcus Lawrence, I got him at number 4. The pick 6 comes to mind. It just feels like every game he's played, he's made significant plays. Mm-hmm. He's elevated this defense. I got him at 4.
Nice. Moving into number 3, who you got?
Number 3, I have Javon Curse. I got Curse, man. Like same thing. Curse has elevated this defense in terms of like the mentality, the leadership that he has brought. I think that he has been a difference maker as far as, making everybody on the defense realize that we're all dogs and we're here to eat. And I mean, I love Jayron Curse, man. He's been a difference maker. He's had a few highlight plays. He plays kind of like the position that a Jamal Adams would. So he's got a few sacks this year. He's a big time hitter. The toe drag interception comes to mind. He's made a lot of solid plays and
effort plays.
Yes, I love his intensity.
Yeah, he definitely brings it. You can kind of see him all over the field, and you're like, "Oh, who is that?" Oh, Jayron, of course. Like Jayron is always there. So yeah, I had definitely struggled for a 5 slot. I almost put him there, but I'm going to my number 3, and you guys might not like it, but I have Diggs at 3, and he's got. I mean, obviously, he's a huge, impactful player. I mean, 11 interceptions through 15 games. That's pretty damn solid. It hasn't happened in a number of years. He's setting records again. But I just have 2 guys that for me have been more impactful, just their presence alone. Diggs might be the best corner in the league. That's arguable. But
has played like it, that's for sure.
He's my number 3 guy, and I'll explain. But who who I've got at number 2, DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, don't get me wrong. I know he's missed a ton of time, but since the man has come back, our defense looks unstoppable.
And that's fair because it is a power ranking system.
Exactly. So having him come back into the lineup, our defense looks damn near impenetrable. Okay. They've stepped up, and with him alone and his leadership and with him coming back, this defense has just performed out of their mind. Something like I've never seen in my...
We probably haven't seen it.
Exactly. So just on the mere fact that this guy comes back in the starting lineup, and then the defense goes on a roll and has yet to stop. Lawrence at my number 2.
Right on. I got Trayvon Diggs as my number 2. For every reason that you just mentioned, I have a hunch that we probably have the same number 1, but that's literally the only reason Trayvon is number 2 for me. Just simply because my number 1 has been outstanding this season. Diggs is doing something that we have not seen since 1981. Put that into perspective to anybody out there that says that Trayvon Diggs is not good. He gives up a bunch of yards. That's all a bunch of crap. If it was so easy, then why hasn't it been done in 40 years? Don't at me.
I mean, this is a professional league, ladies and gentlemen. It blows my mind how you can undermine any person's performance based on who they play. They're all in the same league, okay? This brings us to our number 1. Let's say it together.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah. I mean, look.
The lion must eat.
This man comes in, and if you had never seen the guy play before, if you have no idea about his history or background, you're like, man, how long is this? You would be thinking, man, how long has this guy been playing? Like, this guy's playing out of his mind. This dude is probably in the prime of his career.
Right.
The dude is his first year.
It's insane. And what's great about my number 1 and my number 2, my power ranking, the only duo players on the same team to have 10 plus interceptions and 10 plus sacks. That's never happened.
Right.
And one of them is a rookie.
I mean, it's
one of them is a second year player.
The dude has made a very convincing case that not only does he deserve defensive player of the year, but not only just rookie of the year, but also defensive player of the year. The dude is just playing outstanding. And the regular season's not over.
I don't think they'll give it to him unless he has a huge game. And this is the reason that I've been so excited for this Cardinals game is I'm ready to see Micah Parsons versus Kyler Murray.
Yes.
The one of the most freakishly athletic quarterbacks versus Micah Parsons, the rookie phenom, one-on-one. I'm sure we're going to see Micah Parsons play a ton of quarterback spy. So I'm sure we're going to see them meet up in the middle of the field quite a few times. And I can't tell you how excited I am for it.
Parsons, I know you're listening, obviously.
Well, we know Dak and Zeke listen to the show, so I'm sure Micah does.
Parsons, we know you're listening. Please go put Kyler in the dirt. Please.
That would be outstanding. Looking forward to it.
A little bit of foreshadowing to my bold prediction. Maybe no. Please put him in the dirt. You know what? I think you owe it to me to put Kyler Murray in the dirt based on how much I just praised you. Okay, so
we don't do that ever.
If it's coming from us, you know that it's the real deal. So let's switch.
Our credentials speak for themselves.
So at the head of this defense, we have one Dan Quinn. Okay, and unless you live under a rock, you know that there's been this 2-week window opening up for coaches to go interview for a head coaching position, specifically in Jacksonville. And Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn both received invitations. Those guys declined. Your thoughts?
I'm not sure, if these guys are going to take interviews after the season. But my thoughts are that I'm happy to know that my coaches are focused on the team that they're on, and they're focused on trying to win games and trying to go win a Super Bowl. And I think that's, the main thing that I was concerned about was, that's great and everything. They've both definitely earned the opportunity, to interview for head coaching positions. But I was just praying that it could at least wait until the end of the season. Let's focus on what we got going on right now because we have something great going on. And obviously, they realize that probably more so than anybody. So it's good. It's a good thing to see. And additionally, I think that part of it is because that Jacksonville is just such a freaking dumpster fire. I don't think that anybody wants to go there. Why would you want to leave the middle of what you're going through with this outstanding team, the most valuable franchise in the entire world, in the whole sports world, for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean,
now, on a different note, look, my hat's off to these guys. All right, these are the kind of people that we need on our squad. Absolutely. I mean, these people obviously believe in what we have going on, and I think the reality for them is like they know where they are in their season, and they have no reason to try and compromise that. They have no reason to try and leave a bad taste in their team's mouth and have them stop believing in their coaches. So good on them for making that decision. And I think they also understand where Jacksonville is and in their season, understanding that it's pretty much a bust at this point.
I mean, just everything that team has gone through this year, not just what's happened on the field, but I mean, let's be honest, their owner splits time between the NFL and All Elite Wrestling. Like, would you... I mean, it's just it's a joke of a franchise, and let's be real.
And just to reiterate, it just seems like their mind is in the right spot right now. Let's focus on what we've got going here because we've got something really special. Let's see how far we can take it. And while they appreciate the sentiment, they're going to leave that stuff for the offseason, and my hat's off to them. I couldn't be more appreciative to have guys like that on our coaching staff.
I think it's also kind of funny to think of, like, what if their mindset is like, Jesus, like, I would rather be a defensive coordinator than the head coach of that.
That dumpster fire.
Like, that's not even worth my time. I'm good. I'm straight.
Shall pass. Okay, so let's switch gears. Dallas has, as we mentioned before, received a lot of criticism based on their record due to solely beaten teams that have been deemed subpar based on their record. So I'm not really tracking on this argument, considering that there's some pretty lackluster wins with the likes of Green Bay and Tampa Bay, and they're not receiving the same criticism. In my opinion, I think you got some household names like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady that are considerably the face of the league, and nobody wants to compromise that. No one wants to bring them in question and put them on the hot seat the same way they do Dak Prescott, the same way they do the Dallas Cowboys. And also, on a similar note, I think it's very easy to hate on the Cowboys. I just think it is. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody loves to hate on them, and everybody loves to praise Tom Brady and praise Aaron Rodgers regardless of what they're doing, and they'll always put them on a pedestal.
I think that Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Dallas have all had similar seasons. I think we've all experienced a bit of a slump. We've all experienced a bad loss at some point in the year. And let's be real. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. And every year there's only about 4 to 6 contenders. Probably 6 is pushing it. Probably just 4 contenders. Like, you can't play a Super Bowl contender every single week. And it seems like that's the criteria for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, they're supposed to beat Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the LA Rams, and the Kansas City Chiefs every single week.
Right.
And that's silly because nobody else is held to that standard. Nobody else talks about other teams like that. So I don't really understand the whole we haven't beaten anybody. And we tweeted about this on our Noise of the Boys podcast Twitter. Go follow us at Noise of the Boys. So we said, try to diminish what Dallas has done this season, but here's a little bit of perspective. NFC North combined record, 26-33. NFC South combined record, 30-30. NFC East combined record, 29-31. Let's not act like Dallas's division is astronomically worse than Tampa Bay and Green Bay's. And those are simple facts. Those are the facts. Answer them.
So, I think as a fan, this is a reason to be another reason to be excited about this game. Not only that it's a must win, not only that it's a revenge game, but it's a chance for the Cowboys to pick up a quality win in the eyes of their critics. Not that it's going to shut them up.
It won't, because here's what's going to happen. If we win, they're going to say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because they're on a losing streak. You caught them without D-Hop. It doesn't really matter. That's not impressive. But if we lose, you can't beat a contender. You suck. You're not going to do anything in the playoffs. So they're just going to move they're going to continue to move the goalpost, Cowboys nations. So f*** them. You're going to have to bleep that out.
Alrighty. Okay.
I don't like the haters. Got me all riled up.
It is what it is. It's a lose-lose. Just to reiterate, it doesn't matter how convincingly the Cowboys win. There's always going to be the opportunity to move the goalpost, and nobody refuses to do that.
I do have a stat here to kind of piggyback off of that, if you don't mind. If
Break
Cowboys,
out the notebook.
Yeah, Cowboys Nation. If you can't tell, I've done quite a bit of research on this because I don't understand this narrative that is being pushed so damn hard. It pisses me off. How are you going to say that the Cowboys haven't played just as good as anybody else? Okay, so common opponents this season. Let's be honest here. Green Bay and Tampa Bay. These are the teams that primarily are getting the nod over the Cowboys, right? We have common opponents with them. Obviously, the NFC East played the NFC South this year. So we have a lot of common opponents with Tampa Bay. One of them being New Orleans. Same with Green Bay. Green Bay has also played New Orleans. We beat New Orleans by 10.
Quality win.
And when we beat them by 10, we were made fun of because we didn't look very good. Almost putting up 30 damn points. We don't look very good.
4 turnovers.
Green Bay lost 38-3 the first game of the season, and Tampa Bay lost twice, 9-0. They got shut out at home, and then earlier in the season, 36-27. But our
Get your brooms out.
Our win wasn't impressive. Interesting. Common opponents. So the teams that we have played, the same teams that we have played that Tampa Bay has played, we are 9-0 in those games. Tampa Bay is 6-3. Interesting.
Coincidence?
I think not. Common opponents with Green Bay. We're 3-1. They're 1-3. It's funny. It's funny how that works. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Green Bay is obviously better. They have the better quarterback. You don't want to go to Lambeau. But let's be real. Green Bay hasn't been nearly as good as Dallas has these last few games. And go back and listen to us for the Saints pregame. We said that you want to be peaking right now. Guess who went undefeated in December?
Your Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. Answer the facts.
The defense brings a very compelling argument, and the verdict is in. Come. This brings us to our bold prediction, guys. I'm not going to waste any time. I have Dak Prescott remaining hot. He throws for his second game in a row over 300 yards and puts up 3 touchdowns in a revenge game against Arizona. What you got?
Interesting. I think that my bold prediction is... So I've made a few bold predictions this season, waiting for the running game to really take back off. So I'm just going to keep making these bold predictions until I get it spot on. I think that this is the game to really do it. I know that they've got playmakers on each level. They've got Chandler Jones. They've got Budda Baker. Jordan Hicks is a solid player. Those are all people that we need to be aware of, but I don't think that their run defense has been very good. Also, noting your bold prediction about Dak Prescott going off, the Arizona Cardinals are averaging 2 takeaways a game. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my bold prediction that the Cowboys try to establish the run game. Like I have said in the past that I've been wrong about. But I think that they will seriously, make a serious attempt to do it. And this is assuming that Tyron Smith plays. I'm going to say 30 carries for 150 yards. We've been hovering around 30 carries for 100, 110, 105, 120, 123, around that area. I think that we break 150 this week.
Interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, this will bring us right into our score predictions. I went first with the bold prediction. Uncle C-Tom.
So this one's tough. I definitely think that this is going to be I don't know. I think that this is going to be a toughie, especially if they have a hard time containing Kyler Murray. I still think that the Cowboys are heads, shoulders, knees, and toes better than this team. I really do. I think that they get the ground game established. I think that they just have so many freakishly athletic players on defense that were able to find a way to contain Kyler Murray. Feel free to come at me whenever Kyler Murray runs crazy on us. Knock on wood, that's not happening. Yeah. But seriously, though, I think that our defense is just much better than their offense, and that's going to be the matchup to seriously watch. I've got the Cowboys winning 31-21.
I think we'd be remiss to say that Kyler's not going to he's not going to eat. Okay. The dude is just athletic. He's very good. He's very good in Texas. For those of you who don't know, he's undefeated. What's it like to lose in Texas, Kyler Murray?
He doesn't know.
You don't know.
Until Sunday.
But you will.
Do you bleed? You will.
Cowboys win 34-20.
Let's go. 2-touchdown win.
Absolutely. I think it's a convincing win. I think they capitalize on all the injuries and the key losses in terms of players for this Arizona team.
Mainly D-Hop, right?
D-Hop, J.J. Watt.
Because, J.J. Watt, forgot about him. Yeah. Probably put Diggs on Christian Kirk, right? Yes. So then who do they throw to?
Good luck.
I think we're gonna be just fine. I think Kyler Murray's gonna have to try to find ways to make plays on the ground, and we're just too athletic.
Exactly. I just think that this Dallas team is gonna be too much for Arizona. We'll hand Murray his first loss in Texas. I hope it tastes.
It's gonna be real sweet.
Yeah, I seriously hope it tastes like
or ass.
And I hope that their flight's delayed on the way home, because the way that they came in last year, despite knowing that Prescott was hurt.
Not that they owe us any favors or anything, but still.
Yeah.
That was their Super Bowl.
I hope that their flight's delayed several hours.
Hope they get home and the batteries in their remote are dead.
Yes.
That'll show them.
Hopefully they lock their keys in their car and have to wait on Papa Lock.
NFL players have to call Papa Lock.
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully they stub their toe walking into their living room to relax. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far, we want to thank you for your time and attention and hope that you've learned something of value here in the last half hour. Smash that thumbs up button, comment below, and activate that bell button so that you can be the first to know when a new episode of Noise of the Boys is dropped. And with that, we are out of here. Matt Longoria and Uncle C. Tom, we will see each and every one of you for the post-game report.
Peace!